average net worth of homeowners versus renters. Now, you would think if you were renting, you might have more money in your pocket compared to a mortgage, but there's got to be financial advantages of owning versus renting.
Yes. Yep. So the average homeowner's net worth is $225,000.
And here we are back with our realty expert, John Brodeen. How are you today on this beautiful Friday morning?
Yeah, good.
Good. Got big plans for the weekend?
Let's see. I know my wife has to work tomorrow, so.
Oh.
Yeah,
So you get daddy duties all day.
Yeah. She's at UND, so all the students are coming in. So it's a busy couple weeks for her. But
so on a day like this, when you get to be home all alone with your daughter, is it a good bonding time? What do you do?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So my usual daycare pickups earlier on Friday, and I don't train on Friday, so I'll pick her up and we'll hang out. And my wife goes to the gym, so she's not home until like 6. So we'll hang out and play around on the floor, and I always look forward to that. And then Saturday morning, my wife goes to the gym usually too, so I'll hang out with her. So a lot of nights I'm not home till kind of late because I'm training. But
because you guys are gym rats.
It's nice to those. I look forward to those couple days a lot.
Sure,
weekends are nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. We could sit and talk about kids all day.
I know.
Maybe we should talk about some realty stuff. Okay, now. Average net worth of homeowners versus renters. Now, you would think if you were renting, you might have more money in your pocket compared to a mortgage, but there's got to be financial advantages of owning versus renting.
Yes. Yep. So the average homeowner's net worth is $225,000. And the average renter's net worth is only $6,300.
Wow.
So the average homeowner's net worth is more than 40 times that of the average renter. And of course, there's there are a few different factors that would skew this, where the average homeowner is probably older, so they've had more time to accumulate higher net worth.
Sure.
They're probably a little bit more financially savvy and probably make better decisions with their personal finance just because they have higher level of financial literacy. And it's possible they earn a higher income, but still, if you looked at people with the exact same income, exact same age, and the exact same level of education, for example, the homeowner is going to still have a much higher net worth than the renter. And this kind of compounds as time goes on, and this is why I say real estate is such a good investment for the long term. Now, it's not always the best decision to buy over rent. But responsible homeownership, which means buying when it's the right, when you're in the right situation to buy and properly maintaining your home and doing all of the things that responsible homeowners should do, it is such a better financial outcome than renting. Now, why is this? Well, there's a couple of main reasons. Equity gain. So your net worth is basically all of your combined assets that you own minus any debts you have. So, if you own a $300,000 home and you have a $250,000 mortgage left on it, it's $50,000 towards your net worth.
Sure.
So you're not getting it's not the whole $300,000 towards your net worth, but you're gaining equity as time goes on through loan pay down and appreciation. Some of the major benefits of investing in real estate, same as the great benefits of owning real estate that you live in.
Okay.
While owning real estate that you live in isn't a pure investment because there's still expenses that you do have to pay that you don't get anything out of, like property taxes, insurance, utilities. That's like consumption and spending.
Right.
But renting has no real investment aspect to it. There's nothing that you're...
Yeah, every time you make that payment, you're not owning part of it.
No, you're not. So, loan pay down, eventually that loan's going to be paid off. And you're going to own that $300,000 house. That whole $300,000 is in your net worth because you don't owe anything on it, and you don't have a monthly payment anymore on it. So all you're paying is the taxes, insurance, and utilities. So you have a lot more of your income that you can save and invest each month once your home is paid off. So that's huge. The other thing is most people are using fixed rate mortgages now. So every year rent goes up. Landlords have to raise rent, to try to match inflation.
The cost of living and inflation and all that stuff. Yeah.
And and they're raising rents along with as the housing market goes up, rents also go up. So if you're renting, your rent is gonna go up, and in 10 years, your rent is, probably going to be 30-40% higher than it is right now.
Right.
Versus if you're owning, your property taxes might go up some, maybe your insurance goes up some, maybe utilities go up a little bit. Your actual principal and interest payment stays the same. So in 10 years, your payment on your house is probably less than what it would be to rent something similar, even if they started out pretty similar, or if they started out even with renting being slightly cheaper. Down the road, it's going to be cheaper to own on a monthly basis. That means more income that you can save and invest. So another way that you can raise your net worth is just,
Sure.
locking that payment in and being able to save and invest. So if you're going to be living in the same place and you're willing to live in the same home for like 4 or 5 plus years, it's a no-brainer to own compared to renting. It's a much safer option to rent versus own if you're going to be living in the place for only 2 years or 3.
Yeah.
3 years is kind of on the teeter-totter. You kind of need the market to do good things in order to have a good outcome. 2 years or less, it's unlikely you're going to have a good outcome from owning a home.
All you're doing is moving stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason for that is in those first few years of the mortgage, the majority of your payment goes towards interest and not towards principal. That slowly starts to flip-flop as you get further into your loan. And once you're in those later years of your loan, the majority of your payments going towards principal and less towards interest. And, there's probably a balance point somewhere in the middle where it's like 50-50. So the longer you own it, the more your payments are actually going towards your net worth and not towards interest.
Now, I've been one of those guys my whole life. I say, okay, if I get a loan or even a mortgage, I'm going to make an extra payment a year, or I'm going to do this. I know I've been told for years you'd be amazed at what the difference is if you make 13 mortgage payments a year instead of 12. But again, I was never one of those guys that could do it. But does it really make that much of a difference?
Yeah.
Does it knock that much of your mortgage off? Or maybe you can't even answer that.
I've seen a video like years ago, similar to what you are talking about right now. And if I remember right, it shaved years off of the mortgage. Or paying your loan like it's a 15-year loan.
Sure.
So if you have a 30-year loan, paying it off as if it were a 15-year loan, that's going to save you a ton of interest over time. You're going to build equity much faster. Using a 15-year loan, as long as you're not worried, make sure you can afford that payment. You still want that payment to be probably less than 25% of your after-tax monthly take-home income. So don't stretch yourself thin just to do a 15-year loan. But 15-year loans are amazing.
Yeah, and I would imagine, even if say your mortgage is $50 or $1,410 a month, go $1,500 a month, and even that makes a difference. If it's like you said, if it's a 15 or a 30-year mortgage, that adds up pretty quick.
Yes, yep. When you're talking about that many years, that many payments, that can shave years off of your mortgage. Getting to a place where you have a paid off house, that's one of the things like Dave Ramsey talks about a lot is, trying to the value of having a paid off house, the peace of mind that comes with that. I think that's great.
It's incredible.
Yes, yeah.
I never thought I'd see it.
Yeah.
When you're 10 years deep into a mortgage, you sit and you think, oh my gosh, I'm never going to, I'll be lucky if I'm still living when I pay this house off. But boy, when you do, it's an awfully good feeling. But you got to be careful because you kind of get lazy. You're used to taxes being taken out of there. You're used to your insurance and all of that stuff. And all of a sudden, you get that slap alongside the head going, hey, your property taxes are due.
It's almost like you should make yourself a little escrow account, like have a checking account or savings account that you don't touch, that you just put that, a few $100 a month into. But it's crazy the benefits of home ownership, and people shouldn't buy a home unless they're financially stable enough. That's another thing, because
you still got to be able to live.
Yeah, if you buy a home and you don't have any money to fix anything and you don't maintain it properly and you let it just go to crap, that's not a good investment. You have to be I wouldn't buy a home unless you can stay in it for that period of time that we discussed earlier.
Sure.
And I wouldn't buy it if you can't handle an unexpected, $8,000 expense where you need a new roof, or you need a new furnace and AC, or you need to, put new.
They need upkeep.
Yeah, they do need upkeep.
It's like anything.
Yep. But the benefits of how much real estate goes up over time and your loan pay down over time is going to massively outweigh those extra expenses that you have as a homeowner compared to being a renter. Who knows? In 30 years, you could either have a paid off house or you could have rents that have, doubled from what they are right now, and you have zero equity in anything.
Yep. I tell you what, it's different when it comes to you have to mow and you have to take care of your yard and move snow and all that kind of stuff. But it's awfully nice when you can look at a room and go, you know what, I'm going to paint this. Or, you know what, I'm going to put a different window in here. I'm going to get me a big dog.
Yes.
I mean, it's really nice when you can say and do whatever you want because you own your house.
Yeah, and as your income goes up, you can make your house nicer versus with an apartment. You can't make it any nicer. You just have to move into a nicer apartment.
Right,
The payment
right.
goes up. Like if you've got extra money and disposable income and you want an updated kitchen and updated bathrooms and you want to finish your basement, you can do all that.
Yeah.
So it gives you more room to kind of grow into the house and, make the house nicer as your financial situation.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about who's living beside you, above you, or below you.
Yeah.
A friend of mine in Fargo had arms full of groceries, lives in an apartment, got into his apartment, forgot his keys in the door.
Oh.
So his brand new Toyota Camry was gone the next morning.
Oh.
And they finally got it back, but now this guy's still got a key to the car. He's got a key to his apartment. He's got a key to everything the guy's got,
no.
and you wouldn't have that issue
And
if you were at your own house.
It was probably one of his neighbors too.
Pretty
Who
sure
else
it was.
would be in the building?
Yeah, pretty sure it was. But
that's
if you got your own house, you got your own garage, you got everything, and you got that big dog we were talking about. That helps.
That helps. Yeah, definitely.
Jeez.
That's an unlucky day right there.
So I mean, there is huge financial advantages of owning, obviously, versus renting.
Yes.
You can rent your entire life. You're not going to get anything out of it.
Yeah.
Every mortgage payment you make, it's a little bit more that you own.
Yeah, renting is a good move short term. Owning is a good move long term. And when you're ready to settle down and commit to living in an area for a long time, and you're ready to live in a certain house for a long time, owning is going to pay off massively.
Right, and besides, who likes to move?
Yeah.
Now, like with you, you got a young child now.
Yeah.
Do you have a fenced-in yard? Is that something you worry about?
No, we don't. It might be something we do eventually, but I don't know. Our dog is kind of an inside dog, and
I'm worried about your kid.
Yeah, that might be. I know it would be really easy because both of my neighbors have fences, so I'd. Oh,
sure. You just got to put a backside on there. Yeah.
It would be easy.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And inside dog. So, does the dog like kids?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with kids.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. You got the watcher right there.
Yeah. Yep. He's been that way for as long as we've had him. He first met one of our friend's babies probably when he was like a year old, and he was just obsessed from that point on. He hears kids walking down the street, and he's like up on the thing.
Isn't that weird?
Like he's and Dylan is getting to that age. She's still so little that she can't really like play with him a whole lot yet. But I'm sure he's gonna love it when she's.
Oh yeah, because when they do, they get a little rough when they're that young. They're not quite sure how to play yet, and it's amazing how those dogs just put up with it. You can even see the look on their face, like that's all right.
Yeah, she just reaches out and tries to grab his face and squeeze it, and he just kind of like puts up with it, and he's very patient. He's definitely a good dog for kids. He's the best.
Yeah. How does somebody get a hold of real estate expert John Brodeen?
So if you want to become a client or you have real estate questions, reach out to me. 701-213-5428 is my cell, so you can call me or text me, and you can find me on all the social media platforms. I post a ton of content that's going to be valuable for homeowners, for people who are thinking about buying a home, investing content, real estate investing, posting videos multiple times a week. So
you are a true realty expert.
You know it. Yeah.
There you go. John Brodeen. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, there you go. John Brodeen, your realty expert with Berkshire Hathaway. That is your Friday edition of your Berkshire Hathaway bi-weekly podcast. Stay tuned. We got another one coming up again on Wednesday. Until then, have yourself a great weekend.